Hi, it is April again, and I made a video just recently on how to design a card in Silhouette Studio Business Edition 4.1. The Business Edition, what I'm going to show you in the Business Edition, you should be able to do in any version of Silhouette Studio that you have. But when I went to make my card, when I went to cut out my card, I noticed that my Kentucky did not have any cut lines around it. So if you see the maiden and the card back, see the red lines that are around it, that means that it's going to cut out. This image is not going to cut. Oh, there it is. Now it will, because I put the cut lines around it. Now, I was going to show a different way because I thought that I was going to have to trace this image in order to get it to cut out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to uncut, see if I can uncut. There we go. And I'm going to go back to the design, and I am going to grab these two pieces and kind of drag them off, and I'm going to zoom in to my Kentucky image, and then I am going to trace. So I'm going to close my text style box. I'm going to choose my Kentucky image, and I probably don't have to choose it. If you hear the pitter patter of heavy feet upstairs, that is my granddaughter running across the floor. Okay, so I'm going to pick what I used to call peanut butter and jelly. Now it looks like a butterfly. And I'm going to choose select trace area, and then I'm going to make a box around my Kentucky image, and it is pretty well yellow. I think I'll try and make it, yeah, I kind of filled it in a little bit. But if I take my threshold back, then you can see it isn't yellow, and therefore it doesn't know what you want to cut around or what you want to trace. So you raise your threshold, and 71, the yellow is bright, the outline isn't broken, so you should be okay. Used to be that you would have to turn your high pass filter off. That is a default setting now. And then you can trace inner and outer, you can trace the outer edge, or you can trace and detach. What I want to do is I want to trace inner and outer, because I want these little pieces that are part of the T and the K and the E to be cut out. So I traced, and then when I drag away this Kentucky, there I have my cut. So that is another way when you have SVGs that you bring in from outside of Silhouette. You may have to trace them within the Silhouette Studio in order to have an image that will be cut out. So now, in order to zoom back out, I am going to click this mat and make it fit to the window. I can drag this image off my mat because I don't want to cut that out now. I can bring my made in back over, and I ended up making my background black. I'm going to cut out my Kentucky in red, and I'm going to cut out made in white, and then pop it up. And I'll probably outline the whole image in red. And what I can do right now while I'm here is I can grab a rectangle, I can throw it on the page and hit escape. I haven't set up my settings on this machine. Go to the correct width and height, not X and Y like I did earlier. I find that I end up changing the X and the Y and can't figure out why my image isn't being resized. I'm going to make this a little bigger than what this black background is. My black background is 5 1/4 by 4. So I'm going to do 5.5 by 4.25. And I didn't unlock, so it just adjusted the width to coordinate with the height based on the dimensions of the image the way it was. So let's try this again. 5.5 by 4.25, and then I just hit let's see, how many times am I going to do this? Okay, once I put 5.5 in, I'm going to hit enter, and then I'm going to lock the ratio into place. So when I take this background, I'm going to color fill it with red, because that is what my mat is going to be. And it covers up my other image. So I'm going to right click on my mouse, and I'm going to send to the back of the layer, and that puts that behind my other images. Now my Kentucky is going over a little more than what I think it should, so I'm going to click him, and I'm going to make him just a little bit smaller. And there. I'm still going, no, it's going to be 5.5 because my card is going to be 5.5, so I still need to make, there we go, that ought to do it. Okay, that should just fit inside. And then I'm also going to color fill this with red. Now what I want to do when I send it to my machine, so everything looks like it's going to cut just fine. My blade is set to a 3. I've picked heavy cardstock. I have action cut and a ratchet blade. I don't have a Cameo 3. I'm going to slow down the speed a little bit because this Kentucky image is a very thin line and I'm using paper, so I don't want to have it cut too fast and then tear up my paper. Alright, now I wanted to cut out by color, but for some reason it's not recognizing my black and my white. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, let's see, I've got my black on my sheet right now. So I'm going to drag off the rest of the images so that I just cut out my black. Oh, here we go. That's what I needed to do. I'm learning something while I'm doing this. Okay, now I don't want, okay, I have 2 colors of red. I actually want both of those colors to cut out on the same piece of cardstock. So I don't want those to overlap. The first thing I want to cut out is my black mat, then I want to cut out my red mat, and then I'll cut out my made in out of white, and my red mat and my Kentucky will be cut out at the same time. So I'm going to uncheck red and white, so that the only thing that gets sent to my machine is my black. And then, yeah, okay. So this is a little different than what I was used to before, so this works out well. All right, and I'm going to send it to my machine. Thank you for watching. I will have a picture of what my card looks like and maybe a video of me putting it together. If you like this video and it was helpful, please hit the like button. If you want to view more videos, hit subscribe, and everybody have a great day. Thanks. Bye.